Good evening. My talk tonight is listening and speaking from the heart. It was about 25 years ago. My stepdaughter Nicole stepped off the airplane, exhausted, unkempt, in rumpled jeans and a flannel t-shirt. Her long brown hair was unkempt, scraggly, dirty. Her two eyes were sunken. You could barely see the light burning within. As she walked, she just dragged her jacket along behind her, as if she had just walked the 8,000 miles she had flown from Germany. Just 15 years old, you would have thought that she had already lived a long life of pain and sorrow. My heart wanted to break. I wanted to hug her and I wanted to make all that hurt go away, but I couldn't. My hugs were unwanted. You see, even though I had known her ever since she was 1.5 years old, I was the stepmother. My hugs were seen as phony, or at best, as a temporary salve until someone that counted was there for her. Little did I know, but as Nicole came back from the depths of her depression, our family and myself, we learned one of the greatest gifts of my whole life. I learned to love, listen, and speak from the heart. Nicole taught me that. Listen and speak from the heart. The poet James Stephens, an Irish novelist and poet, said, "I have learned that the head does not hear until the heart has listened. And when the heart knows today, the head will understand tomorrow." Stephens knew that stories allow us to hear what our minds are closed to hear. And when we have a open heart conversation with someone, it also allows that healing process to go on as well. It wasn't easy to learn to listen from my heart. During the first 2 weeks that Nicole was home, she stayed on the sofa. She barely got up to change the channel on the TV. When she did speak, it was often an angry tirade. We had Gabriella, our daughter, was just 1. And we were extremely worried about the impact of this horrible behavior would have on this impressionable young child. So we went to see the psychiatrist. Urged us to hang on until the Prozac took effect. It takes about 3 weeks. It did, finally. But things did get better, a little. We tried everything under the sun. We tried to talk and tell her that we loved her. We analyzed what she was doing, what she did. We set limits. We listened. We learned about tough love. But slowly, I learned that all my analysis, all my head trips, all my criticism were not helping. Setting limits just gave Nicole something she could get angry about. And then I found something that worked. When I praised Nicole, she responded. She stopped and listened. She smiled. She started sharing what was going on inside of her. She let me love her, and she loved me back. All my intellectual skills had not brought me to where I needed to be. Instead, it was my heart, our hearts, that led us step by step. It came down to a simple message: I love you, and I believe in you. The master teacher Jesus said in the Gospel of Matthew, "For whatever is in your heart determines what you say. A good person produces good words from a good heart, and an evil person produces evil words from an evil heart." Jesus was teaching us that when we speak from a loving heart, it grows our love, heals our own heart. It doesn't mean that we ignore the troubling behavior, but we see it as a symptom of the underlying distress and hurt. You see, loving isn't logical. At first, it felt like I was ignoring part of reality. recognizing and praising the good theme seemed as if I was irresponsibly ignoring the infractions and everything that was going wrong. But then I got it. Rather than seeing the glass half full, rather than seeing the glass half empty, I started to see it as half full. When I validated Nicole, I was helping her to see herself as God sees her, as whole, perfect, and complete. Ernest Holmes puts it this way in The Science of Mind. The universe holds nothing against us. No matter how many mistakes we have made, we are still perfect beings within, and the within may become the without. If we will carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth, which speaks to us in our moments of quietness, in solitude. When we say, I love you, I believe in you, we will only say what is true about us as spiritual beings. Now, don't think that this was a quick fix. It was not by any means. There were still plenty of angry confrontations ahead of us. But there were also those moments of tranquility and love. Moments when we were listening to that inner divine voice of truth. One such special moment was a day when I had to walk by her. There was no way to avoid contact. So I decided to praise her, recognize her. I said, I love you. I believe in you. And she responded by opening up. She listened. We connected. I don't remember exactly what we talked about, but I do remember the warm hugs and the feeling. I remember the tears and the laughter. Really? Okay. So that memory was a lighthouse beacon, reminding us what it means to listen speak from the heart. I thank Nicole for this priceless gift. We both learned unconditional love and to listen and speak from the heart.